You don't have it's not really that long of a race as we see the starting grid here. Troy Herfoss on pole, Riley Smith, Kyle Wyman, second row, Hayden Gillum, Rocco Landers, James Rispoli.
Continue back through the field, row number 3, Tyler O'Hara. He's back for the full season. Kyle Ornsord, Corey West, Jake Lewis, and Max Flinders rounding out the field of 11.
8 laps scheduled in Mission King of the Baggers race number 1. When the lights go off, we get after it. Here we go. Clutches are out, and we're heading to turn number 1. And you can see those big motorcycles shifting. It's going to be the number 1 plate of Kyle Wyman, who leads us into turn number 1 as they jostle for position, and Wyman trying to make a break early.
Yeah, and if you watch, that number 1 spun up pretty good, Craig. So the fact that he was still able to drop the clutch, get a good start as he's got that thing backing in already into the first International Horseshoe here. But that bike, as he took off, it did spin as we see a rider kind of run off into the grass up there. We'll get an idea who that is here in a minute. But to your point, he's got 2 Indian challengers chasing him, but Kyle Wyman is doing his best to check out early.
So the number 1 plate, your reigning national champ on that Harley-Davidson Dynojet Factory Racing Road Glide. Right behind him, you have 2 champions, both of those riders on the J&P Cycles Motul Vance & Hines Factory Indian. The 17 is Troy Herfoss from Australia, and then the 69 is Hayden Gillum out of Owensboro, Kentucky.
Now this, Greg, is where you got to watch. These Indian challengers have been awful fast on the bankings here at Daytona from yesterday morning on. Kyle Wyman with a nice lead, though. I mean, that's some half a second. As now Gillum is going to draft past his teammate Troy Herfoss as they head down the back straightaway for the first time. These two will work together. Nobody's going to get in each other's way as you see Herfoss trying to draft back by. But see how early he set up? He's going to let Hayden lead them in through the chicane. Then Herfoss will draft back by Gillum on his way, trying to get that slingshot. And by the time they get to turn 1, I expect these Indian challengers to be on the back of Kyle Wyman, who, Greg, fell over this morning. This is his first time on that bike since he tipped off.
So here at Daytona International Speedway, when you see a big gap like that on the banking, oftentimes it doesn't mean much, especially when the riders behind you are working. And look into the draft now, closes the gap. We could see a lead change by start finish line, and there they go on the high side, and it's going to be Hayden Gillum who's credited with the lap 1 lead. So the 69 now into turn number 1, and wow, Kyle Wyman looked like he had a huge gap, but this is the way racing goes here at DIS.
Well, I'll tell you something. Kyle Wyman was probably thinking to myself, are these guys ever going to get by me? Did I put in that good of a lap? For them to catch him right at the last possible moment as Herfoss looked down the inside of Kyle Wyman, harassing the Harley rider right off the bat. But look at Gillum, the 69, Greg. He is now trying to do exactly what Kyle was trying to do on the first lap of this race.
And down under the sunshine is Hannah Lopa. Hannah, what do you got?
For Hayden Gillum, we talked a little bit about heading into this weekend being on a different motorcycle with the same team. He said he's never been excited for Daytona before, but heading into this season, it feels a little bit different. Normally his stature being a little bit bigger in size than the majority of the field.
Last time through for Hayden Gillum, let's see if he is starting to pull away even more, Greg. He's already gained almost half a second in the first split as you see these two guys now banging away up on the bankings there, getting close to each other, and you can see, Greg, the Indian challenger just seems to have the measure a little bit right now.
He said having a third teammate this season also has been really beneficial, having another voice, new ideas. He's got a great relationship already existing with Hayden, and he gets along with Troy really well. He just turned 21, so he also feels like, despite having been in the paddock for so many years, 7 years, and 3 championships to his name, he's really at the beginning of his career. There's a lot ahead of him.
There certainly is, and Rocco Landers is on the way, and it looks like for Kyle Wyman, it's like he gets in the draft and it just stalls out on him.
Yeah.
Which means that Rocco Landers on the banking right now, he could all of a sudden shuffle Kyle Wyman back. Wyman's looking forward, trying to get that second place position from the 17 of Herfoss, but here comes the 97 of Rocco.
Double draft is in play. 97 knows that. Can't believe he's 21, Greg. That made me feel a little bit older. We've seen Rocco up through so many classes, very decorated champion here at Moto America, and he's done well to pull the two back to him that are in front as he goes 51-1. The guy at the front, Greg, was some 1.5 seconds quicker than everybody else. As Herfoss gets it wrong into turn 1, he's going to run a little bit wide. Shouldn't cost him too much, but if Kyle wants to get away, this is his opportunity to do so. For Kyle, not having been drafted at all that lap, but he's going to have to put another qualifying type lap down through this infield to try to continue to stretch away from those two behind him.
And the two behind him, of course, are the 38 of Bradley Smith.
Kyle's got it wrong now. Kyle Gets it in there. That's how hard he was pushing, Greg. Once you know that you've broke the draft, you got to kind of keep your head down. Now,
Harley-Davidson factory racing road glide. So Rispoli this year with a deal with Big Deal has that factory level equipment. And so he's capable of winning these races as well. Nice move by Wyman to use the draft and work his way into second place. The lead now.
This time by, as again, Kyle Wyman is trying to draft through onto Troy Herfoss. Herfoss gets down into turn one, and he's going to get that bike turned. Bradley Smith is just there. He's trying so hard to get up to these guys. Oh, as Rocco Landers has a problem, Greg. You can see that Indian Challenger of his is giving up the ghost as they come out of turn one. Now, Bradley Smith has a direct link right to his teammate.
So and unfortunately for the 97, his race is done. He gets another crack at it tomorrow.
Such a bummer.
Yeah. It's Troy Herfoss, Kyle Wyman, and Bradley Smith just can't make it up as the white flag flies on this one. Final lap of race number 1, Mission King of the Baggers for the 2026 season. Kyle Wyman behind the 17. Now Kyle understands what he has underneath him, and if he's got room to strike, he's going to do it at least halfway through this lap. No reason to go to the front right now and make yourself vulnerable for a draft and pass. The thing that Kyle might not know is that his teammate is right on his tailpipe.
Now, if you look to the right of your screen over here, usually that's where the pit boards are showing. So Kyle would at least get a notion that there's a possibility of somebody coming up behind him. He looks over his shoulder and sees that his teammate is right there. So for Kyle now I'm going to go back to 3 years ago when Kyle and Troy were going down into the chicane, and Troy had to learn a little bit about what Daytona was all about. Let's see how this plays out between the two factory Harleys and Troy Herfoss on that factory Vance and Hines Indian Challengers. They're going to come out. Bradley Smith has closed that gap, Greg. When they came across the line, he was some 8/10 behind. So just in this, he's done a great job getting through that first split, and now he's going to get the effect of a double draft.
In a 14-race championship, points always matter. There goes Kyle Wyman. Down the banking he goes. Does the Harley-Davidson have enough on the top end? Not that time. All the while, on the left part of your screen, looking for 25 points in the first win of the season is Hayden Gillum on the 69. Eyes on the right part of the screen. The battle for the final 2 spots on the podium. Hayden Gillum on the banking as Troy Herfoss gets a great drive.
And Kyle spun up pretty bad out of there. That's going to make him susceptible to his teammate coming by as Hayden Gillum's coming to the line.
Here we go, Hayden Gillum, first race of 2026. First race on the J&P Cycles Motul Vance and Hines Factory Harley Indian Challenger with the big win. And here comes Troy Herfoss. He's got no one in his draft. And J&P Cycles Motul Vance and Hines Factory Indian goes 1-2 in their first race as a team in Moto America. Gillum a 149.7. What an eye-opener for the rest of this field, as now this incredibly talented racer has got a weapon in his hands. First salvo fired. Here he is on top of the box. Beat his teammate Troy Herfoss, Kyle Wyman, and Bradley Smith right there, all covered by half a second.